Hi, I'm your professor, Dr. Chris Eby, and welcome back to our series on our labs. Today we're going to be working on minerals. Um, and I'm looking forward to working through this with you. Like a lot of the labs, minerals has a glitch. Once again, it's a glitch that saves you a lot of work if you're seeing it in your screen. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're taking a look at this lab. Let's go down to minerals. And reminder that I post in these, like where it's listed is actually in Brightspace. Remember to go back to Brightspace and double check which lab you're supposed to be doing for that week. I'm sorry it's not embedded into the course. That's one of the features that did not work with Science Interactive. So the beginning opens with the exploration and an explanation of a lot of these different things you will be exploring during the lab itself. Of course, as always, go through the exploration. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. That's not cheating. And then we go down into experimentation. And the big parts in this lab are calculate the specific gravity of the minerals, observe and describe the physical properties of each mineral, and interpret the experimental results to identify the mineral. So we go into your supply list, and it says that there is a minerals property table embedded in the lab. Now, then we go to exercise 1. It explains how to measure it and all that kind of good stuff. And then all of a sudden you get down to data table 1 and data table 1 doesn't exist. I wrote Science Interactive about this a while ago. They still don't have a workaround or a solution to it. So I'm going to say skip exercise 1. For density. I'm just writing that down. So I remember, and go straight on to exercise 2, which is mineral identification, which is enough work. So put on a pair of safety gloves and safety goggles. I definitely recommend the gloves, just because you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself from any toxic elements that may be inside the minerals. Minerals are natural, but that does not mean that they do not contain anything toxic, because toxic things occur in nature as well. Um, the noteworthy one is we want to keep our eyes out for galena, because galena is ore of lead. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to put on our gloves. I'm going to quick grab my gloves really quickly, because I did not bring my gloves. All right, we've got our nitrile gloves. You should have some in your package. I'm gonna put these guys on. And the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a picture of your rock set and you're gonna upload it, and that's gonna help on a couple of things. One, it's required, it gives you points. The other is if it seems really off, like it doesn't align, it gives me something to look at to be like, hey, what's going on here? Your mineral kit should look like this. It's the smaller. You also have a rock kit. So don't get those two scrambled up. So minerals and rock, that's one of the take-home messages of this class. Minerals and rocks, not the same thing. So you're gonna upload, I'm gonna go back to sharing, screen 2. You're gonna upload, I'm still sharing. You're going to upload that image and you're going to test the hardness. Um, so you're going to start by, testing the streak. So let's go with number 1, which many of you may recognize if you took earth science and you did reasonably well in it. Not required for this course, but can be helpful. These are the pieces of equipment that you'll need to identify your rocks and minerals. You'll need your acid, and you'll need this little kit over here. You pop this open, you start by doing the streak. You've got a black and a white streak plate. We're going to open this up. Oh, that's the black streak plate. We need the white streak plate. Most of the minerals, you're going to want the white streak plate. Definitely for number one. You're going to take this guy out, and you're going to do like that. And you notice that the streak is black to gray black. You also notice that this did not scratch the streak plate. So you record in your mineral table, luster. If you look at number one, does it look like a metal or not? And we definitely can say that this looks like a metal, so we would say it's metallic. Color, I would describe number one as gold. Streak, we just said black or gray black. Hardness. Now it didn't scratch the streak plate, so our next thing is we should try our glass plate. So I'm going to take out my glass plate. You're going to want to set your glass plate on the table to do this because you want to use a bit of elbow grease, but if your glass plate is in your hand, you're going to go and you're going to cut yourself, and it's not going to care about the nitrile gloves. You'll really cut yourself. So you want your glass plate, especially this very thin glass plate that they give you in the kit, to be settled on the table. You then give it a bit of elbow grease, and it should scratch the glass. So according to this lab, that means that it has a hardness. If the mineral did not scratch the streak plate, try to scratch the glass plate with the mineral. If the mineral scratches the black glass plate, then it has a hardness of 6. So according to this lab, it has a hardness of 6. And then it goes down trying to scratch with more things. If iron nail doesn't scratch it, try to scratch the mineral with a penny. If the penny cannot scratch it, and it gives you basically all the way down to less than 2. So you're going to record the hardness. So for this one, so far, luster, metallic, color, gold, gold, streak, black or dark gray, hardness, 6, cleavage. So up here, there's different descriptions of cleavage, and whether it has 1, 2, 3, 4 planes. It's difficult. This one is a metal ore, and it's an aggregate. Basically, the big thing with cleavage is, does it break in flat surfaces? Now, if you happen to have something like a hammer, you want to put on your safety goggles and you can hit it with a hammer. Right now, we'll just leave the cleavage section blank because it's difficult for this one. For the next one, for sample number 2, which looks like this is really nice, flat, clear planes. It's at 90 degrees. Number 2 definitely has perfect cubic cleavage. We don't have the specific gravity because that section of the lab's all messed up, so we're going to skip over that. We're going to test it with a magnet. You have a magnet in your kit. You have a gigantic magnet in your kit. This is a huge magnet. It's way bigger than the ones I use in my lab. And you try to make it stick. It does not stick. So we keep going. We take 1 drop of hydrochloric acid and put it on there, see if it fizzes. You really got to look close. Be careful with the acid. It's not going to hurt your skin, but it's strong enough that it might discolor your clothes. And you really want to avoid getting it in your eyes. So either wear gloves or wash your hands afterwards. So we're going to skip these 2. Magnetic, it's no. Effervescent, no. And now we're going to identify the mineral. There we go. So we've got a metallic luster. This is organized by alphabetical order. What? Okay. Interesting choice there, Science Interactive. This is the most disorganized chart I've ever seen in my life. So we're in this section up here, metallic. We're going to find our hardness. Our streak is gray to dark gray, so that narrows it down. Our hardness is about a 6, so that narrows it down. Dark gray, hardness of a 6, okay? But down to magnetite or pyrite. Now we can see that magnetite is silver gray and attracts a magnet, but pyrite is brassy and does not attract a magnet and forms little cubes. And we can see that this is pretty cubey. So we would put in our identification table over here for number 1. This is pyrite. Now, if you want a different mineral identification table, that's great. You want to Google the properties and see if they match anything in the table, that's great. That is a terrible table. I'm also happy to email you a different table. It's just not going to match up necessarily with every mineral that's in there because in my lab, I use slightly different minerals. Once you've got that labeled, what's a common nickname for sample 1? Google it. I just gave it to you. It's pyrite, so you shouldn't have any questions about sample 1 mixed up. And describe it. And when you're all done with all of this, save it and quit and save, and you're done. And let me know if you have questions. Once again, I'm very sorry that this is not that Science Interactive has made some of the decisions that they have made. So thank you. I'm always happy to be your teacher. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience on me making these videos. Yeah, I've been trying to work with Science Interactive to try to get certain things fixed, and they can't be fixed, and we're gonna roll with it. I'm not gonna let it hurt your grade. So you have a great rest of your day, and I can't wait to work with you again soon. And let me know if you have questions.